This is LTV.
Inside Leominster is brought to you in part through the generous support of N.P. Crowley Company Incorporated and by Landmark Self-Storage in Leominster, landmarkselfstorage.com, and by DeCarolis Insurance Agency Incorporated, DeCarolisinsuranceagency.com, and by Enterprise Bank. Enterprise Bank creates success, enterprisebanking.com.
Welcome to Inside Leominster. My name is Dean Mazzarella, Mayor for the city, and welcome. And happy to have you. It is Thursday. We're live this afternoon, and we've got some guests, but if you wish to call and chat about anything, you have a question, lots of Facebook questions, Messenger, social media questions. So if you have a question and you're not using any kind of social media, you want to do it the old-fashioned way, which is 978-534-1626. I like it that way. I like the voice-to-voice, face-to-face combination, right? I like that. So anyway, we are, yes, it's a busy time of the year. And speaking of busy, let's go right out to the busiest guy I know, Art from the Art Report.
Good afternoon, sir. You know, I was thinking on the way to golfing the other morning about all the things going on. And we're losing an era of music, rock and roll. From my era, the American Bandstand show era, with the passing of Bobby Rydell last month, or earlier this month.
Boo Boo Rydell.
That era of entertainers, I mean, the Everly Brothers are gone. They're slowly passing on to other things, and so isn't the show that we all watched, American Bandstand, with Eileen Sullivan and Kenny Rossi and Justine Corelli. They're all that age group, and once all that's gone, it's going to be something like that. We look at music from the 20s now. There's no one left, and we're getting.
But the music, you know, the thing is, it's such good music that it's never going to go away. I walked into a small retail store not long ago, and a young lady was playing, you know, stuff from the 40s, and I said, "Did they make you listen to this?" She goes, "Oh no, it's my choice. I downloaded it," and I thought, you know, wow, how cool! Just, you know, somebody in their 20s listening to music from the 40s. You know, how cool.
Yeah, well, you know what I was actually working towards, the fact is you won't get a chance to see him anymore.
No, yeah.
Golden Boys of Bandstand, we've been 4 times. A great show with Bobby Rydell, Frankie Avalon, and Fabian. But, you know, now they're going to backfill, I guess, with Lou Christie, who had some hits. But it's never going to be the same, because the three of them, they were always on Bandstand together. And what a lot of people didn't know or don't know is that Elvis Presley never went on American Bandstand, nor did Ricky Nelson.
Right.
And the reason they didn't go was because American Bandstand wouldn't pay you.
Right.
You were expected to entertain for nothing because you're plugging your record, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But they never were on that show for that sole reason. They did not get paid.
Huh,
Pretty interesting stuff. Well, when you think about all the money Elvis made, that's for sure.
I guess you'd have to make sure that whatever concerts come up, you get to, because look at Paul McCartney. He's 79. I mean, he's pushing 80, and he's out there. He went one song.
Rydell was 78.
Yeah, they went one song after another song after another song.
But you'd never know it. We went and saw Rydell in a solo act at Mohegan Sun, and we were right up on the front of the stage. He went for an hour nonstop, and he didn't skip a beat.
There you go. So next time one of these concerts comes up, you got to go. All
right. Listen, have a good week. Be careful. Be safe. And it's summertime, baby.
Hot down.
Enjoy it.
Summer in the city.
And the store looks great, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
All right. I want to thank our sponsors, N.P. Crowley, the Carolus Insurance, and Enterprise Bank. Right, Carl? Those are our sponsors. I want to thank them. If you are all interested in sponsoring this particular show, you just need to call, what number, Carl? Is it the 534-1626 number? No?
7760.
Oh, that one. Oh, all right, there you go. The original. Alan Redstone is here. Former Walker Street kid, made it big time, now lives in the burbs, right, Alan?
Yes.
Class of 74.
Oh, yeah.
With Kyle Piamarini, Jack Selly. Who else did you roam with at the time when you lived on Walker Street before you made it big time? Yes, the Campabassos lived on Walker Street. Tossies lived on Walker Streets. The Cormiers lived on the Mersicks, and the Maronis lived on the corner of Walker. Salvi, Marty Salvi lived there for a short, I don't know, till I forget what grade.
Alan Carl has a microphone.
Well, you guys are talking without microphones?
No, he just says use the mic. He hates it when we talk without it.
Oh, all right. Okay. So that was quite.
Now,
that
yes,
was
the
quite.
Salvies.
Hebert lived across from the Salvies.
Let's see, there was Rope and Edith Salvi.
Yep.
And there was the Campabassos.
Campabassos lived there.
Then a couple of houses up,
Tossie.
the Redstones.
Tossies, the Redstones.
Tossies, yeah.
Vern Holman.
By the Cormiers.
Holmans lived there. The Cormiers lived next door.
Right.
In the house over there, which they still might be over there. Alfredo Mercick, the Maronis lived over there at the other corner. The Rockers.
That's right. Yeah.
The Rocker lived on the corner of Middle and Walker Street, right?
Yeah.
It's quite a lineup if you think
was.
about it.
It was a good lineup.
Every house had kids. Think about it. And some had many.
And
There's a
they
lot.
traveled in packs.
Oh yeah, I mean Middle Street. Almost every house on Middle Street had every house on Carter Street and Derwin Street and right. All of those. Everybody had kids, right?
That's right.
Different time. Now we have dogs.
You're right.
We have pooch,
You're right.
and it costs more to bring your pooch to the veterinarian than it does to go to the.
Who would have thought?
Who
would have thought?
Who? I ask. Who would have thought? All right, we're going to take a short break because we have guests today. We've got to get moving along. This is Inside Leominster. My name is Dean Mazzarella. 534-1626. Be right back.
At this time, we're going to push pause for a moment. I'd like to call upon the mayor of this great city, the longest-serving mayor in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, a terrific leader and friend to Leominster High School and the Leominster Public Schools, Mayor Dean Mazzarella.
That's right. We're making progress. Last year, we didn't have a light up here. So last year after graduation, just to add a little fun to this tonight, not that it's not fun enough, but congratulations to all the recipients, and thank you to all those who support our students every single year. 1942, the graduating class of, and they continue to make their mark. So last year, after graduation, it was probably an hour after, and I got a text, and it had a picture in it. It was somebody I gave a diploma to in 1994. I know. Best part's coming. And a half hour later, I got another text. And I opened it. It was somebody I had just handed a diploma to, her daughter. So if there's anybody here who's a parent that I gave you a diploma and a student, let's catch up for a picture. All right, the Mayor's Award. In recognition of your academic achievements and community involvement, you have distinguished yourself during your 4 years at Leominster High School and embraced the qualities that this award seeks to honor. Your commitment to academic excellence is demonstrated through your ability to maintain a 3.9 grade point average. Take two away, that's me. And I don't mean the 0.9. While proving in countless ways your remarkable leadership skills. Your role as student council president, member of the National Honor Society, as well as a teacher's assistant and guidance assistant, has not only made you an extraordinary role model for your classmates, but also demonstrates your passion, motivation, and dedication to the Leominster community. You are not only an exceptional student, but you're also an outstanding community member. You have earned the respect and the praise of both your teachers and your peers, and are hereby awarded the 2022 Mayor's Award. Goes to Lindsay Cavanaugh.
Thank you, Mayor Mazzarella.
A fun night. Congratulations. Good student. That is, listen to this, Kyle, and Alan. That is Rose Cicconi's granddaughter. How's that? Huh? Another classmate of yours, class of 1974. See that? That's right. Abruzzi. Okay, Dr. Pamela Hill is here, the Director of Student Performance, and Kamataris, Nevaeh, a student at Francis Drake Elementary School. And you guys are doing something really neat.
We really are.
Yeah,
Thank you for having us.
You've done some research.
Yeah, research and everything. The project is called Students in Social Justice. And my cohort on that is Dr. Nevaeh at Fitchburg State University. And the Fitchburg Abolitionist Park is going to have its ribbon cutting official opening on June 18th.
Oh, okay.
And the students are performing, and that's what we wrote it for.
So this park is near, is it North Street or somewhere around there, right?
It's on Snow Street.
Snow Street.
It's like right down the street.
Yeah, right behind like CVS, that area down there.
Yes, kind of up over there. And so June 18th, what did I say?
18th. It's the 18th.
Yes, thank you. She keeps me, you know.
She's accurate.
She's
We just kind of
amazing.
rounded off, like
She's
18
amazing.
sounds good, and she's like, no.
So they did research,
18.
and then we put together this play. And there are students they'll be performing with they've never met, except sort of, from Longjo Middle School. And then the Francis Drake children are playing the historical figures. And they will do 3 scenes coming up in between the speakers and the choirs and those kind of things. They start, Longjo starts with just being in the park, and then they come in with a time machine, and they go to abolitionists and to civil rights. And she is playing, we would like to perform for you if we may.
Really?
Because that puts it in some context. So in the civil rights scene, we have Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King,
Ruby Bridges,
Malcolm X, and Ruby Bridges. Yeah. So she's the star here. I'm going to read the other parts, and I'm going to start off with the line from Martin Luther King that will help the audience put it in context. And Nevaeh plays Ruby Bridges. Yeah. There are many brave people who fought for this dream. One of these brave people was a 6-year-old little girl named Ruby Bridges. She was the first black child to attend an all-white school in Louisiana, and the white folks were none too happy about it. Ruby, come on over here and tell these young people what it felt like to be a very brave little girl on November 14th, 1960.
When we drove up to the school, I could see the crowd, but I thought it was a Mardi Gras. There was a large crowd of people outside of the school. They were throwing things and shouting, and that sort of thing goes on at a Mardi Gras. Then, when I started walking up to the school, I realized they were an angry mob. I was scared, but I just looked straight ahead. I never cried. I didn't even whimper.
I would have cried like a baby. Me too.
All the teachers refused to teach a black child, all but one. And she taught me all alone for the rest of the year, as if she was teaching a whole class.
Thank goodness for that one teacher.
She was special, and she made me feel special.
Some artist made a painting of you in the U.S. Marshals walking up to the school.
That was Norman Rockwell. In 2011, the painting was hanging in the White House. I met with President Barack Obama. While we were looking at the painting, he told me, "I think it's fair to say that if it hadn't been for you, I might not be here, and we wouldn't be looking at this together."
And that's her scene.
Wow, what a cool story. It is hard to believe. I was around in 1960. I wasn't very old, but I was around for the 60s. So maybe for young students today, it's hard to comprehend because it's still hard to comprehend.
Right. And
people had to use separate entrances and had to sit in certain sections of restaurants. And I think generations later, it's hard to comprehend that. Can you comprehend that they wouldn't let a young lady go to school with all the other kids?
I can believe that because I know a lot about my Black history, and it's kind of shocking how like different people were back then. But I think it's just how life was back then, and that's all I really know about it much. But I'm still learning about it in school.
Right.
yeah.
But imagine, I remember living through that.
Yeah.
But hard to believe.
Yeah, the next line after that is Adriana from Longjo, and she says, President Obama was right. You made it possible for me to go to school with all sorts of people. I might have not had Mackenzie as a good friend if it weren't for you. And so as these students have been researching, and then we developed this play, and they're playing their lines, the Longjo children who play themselves will say things like, that's unbelievable. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard.
Right,
like when Rosa Parks said, you know, she was supposed to give up her seats for a white passengers, then one of the Longjo students goes, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. So what you were just saying is what they then wrote in here, like, that's stupid. I go, there's a line. You know, so as we're learning about it, the students fed lines, and then I come in with a new script, and she, tell them what it was like. Tell them what it was like.
So we would, every single day we would rehearse. Like, I remember, because I was out for, like, the first, like, 1 or 2 practices. But then the other ones, I got, like, to the practices, I got a script. And then next thing I know, I go back and I get another script. Every single time I went back to rehearse, I've gotten a script. It was like different.
And all of the students are exuberant like her.
Right.
They all had ideas what should be in there. Dr. Hill, I don't think he'd say it that way. Or they would have a word. Can we change that word? Because I really can't pronounce that. And then I just went with them. They've just been wonderful and enchanting and just such a pleasure. And we've been so lucky to have a lot of great funders, Mass Culture Council, Leominster Culture Council. But one of the most interesting was the Fitchburg State University Dean Grant on anti-racism. And they were able to give these kids this book, and it says, we rise, we resist, we raise our voices, and inside are just these amazing. So the children have been reading through this and coming to understand those kinds of things. But they have been appalled. And then they went to, with the Longjo kids, they went to a, tell them about the field trip.
Yep. Okay, so I think it was back in like April. I'm not sure, but we went.
I'm the same way. It could be 6 months, 6 minutes, 6 weeks.
Yeah, but we went to Fitchburg State, my class, and and we met the Longjo students because we had different groups, and when we were there, we were like all having a fun time at Fitchburg State in like the lobby area, and at one point we walked over to the park to see what it looked like.
Oh yeah, because it's not that far away, right?
Yeah, it was only like a 5-minute walk. So with our teachers and stuff, and like walking there, it was fun because we saw a bunch of like students from Fitchburg State, and it was really fun. At the end of that day, when we were there was like this big bouncy house in the back of it where we got to go like jump around and stuff.
See, there's always a fun part of the educational piece.
It was really it was really nice and fun to see like the park, and at the park we watched the Longjo students do their parts for the play. And we saw like these little like stones on the ground where it says different people's names, as well as also when we got pictures to pass around, we got to see what it looked like back in like the 60s and so it was actually really cool to like be there, and I wish we did it again.
978-534-1626. Give us a call if you'd like. And we're talking about Juneteenth, and that's coming up Saturday the 18th from 10 to 12 o'clock. And that's at the Fitchburg Abolitionist Park on Snow Street. You won't miss them. is a ribbon cutting, and they've been working on this project for about 5 years. And our Leominster students at Francis Drake are going to get a chance to partner up with students from Longshore. And something else that's pretty interesting is even today, if you think about it, from this, I mean, let's fast forward from the 60s till now. We have had so many mixed. So today, she has Greek in her. She has Italian in her. She has Irish in her. She has everything. So today, when we look at each other, nobody should be, nobody should be thinking anything, because look at Latinos came here in the early 50s, and some of the first families. Those families are now have married and had children, and those children are now French or Italian or Irish, maybe have some Portuguese, Brazil. You know what I'm saying? So we've reached that point. And so that makes it even more interesting today, when people might prejudge the situation to find out, that there are fewer and fewer blonde-head, blue-eye kids, right?
Tell them about the poem. That Fitchburg State University students also worked with these students on poems. Tell them about this is exactly what you're getting to.
Okay,
Okay.
So we made these Where I'm From poems, and it was about like our families and like our nationalities and like what we're about. And it was cool to write because it's like about ourselves. It's not just one person. It's not just about one thing. So it was about us and how like where we're from and stuff. And even like last year with the with the George Floyd thing, that was crazy because it hasn't, it's still going on kind of, and it's like weird, but at the same
when's
time,
this all going to end, by the way? Could somebody send me a memo?
Literally,
this is taking a long time. And I think most minds have changed over time, and people are just, nobody cares.
Yeah.
It's just, as I said, she right? Who are you? So tell us all the different areas that you're covered by. So I know Kamataris is Greek.
Yes.
And your grandmother was Italian. It was great. Your grandmother was Farinelli. How about on the other side?
Like for my dad's side?
Yeah. What other sort of nationalities might be in there?
I think the only one I really know of is Native American. I don't know.
Native American.
Yeah,
see what I'm saying?
My
so
dad's
you see,
like full.
the whole idea, I think students have to be explained, is the whole design of this America thing was really a melting pot.
Yeah.
It was this was by design. And sometimes people don't understand it, and they think they're part of like Blue Devils or I'm from the Red Nation. So they think this is like some sort of a pride thing or something, when they don't realize that this was all supposed to happen. Yes, this was all supposed to happen. This is what makes us unique. In fact, this is why other countries tried to replicate us. You understand? This is a good thing. A couple of people, I guess, didn't get the memo. Right?
And as you say, some things are still going on. And the young student at the end, one of the students wanted to do Black Lives Matter, so she talks about that with Malcolm X.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I don't want to say the ending because people might come, but the children have a message for the audience at the end.
Yeah, we have like.
You get it all, because you get all the good food.
Yeah, I won't say.
You get all the good food, right? All the cultural things and traditional things that come. We have a lot of people from Ghana now, a lot of people from, a lot of Haitians that are coming here, and they bring with them again Brazilians, Portuguese, that are bringing their cultures to us again, their beliefs. A lot of them have, they're all belong to different churches and everything. What a wonderful thing. I love it. And the food.
I think you should have a food festival of all the different cultures.
We're...
I will be there.
Yes.
Booth to booth.
I think we'd have a problem. I don't know if there'd be enough space, but...
Hey, close down the streets.
Right now, there's a Brazilian church that's using St. Anna's. They're kind of they're kind of collaborating. So they're using St. Anna's on, I think, Tuesdays and Sunday nights to have, and they're going to do actually a bazaar and kind of an ethnic international day. Father Jose up at Holy Family has one every year. I'm not sure they're going to do one this year, but yeah, this is a very multicultural community, very, very diverse community here in the city, and that's a good thing.
I also have one more thing to say.
You can say all you want.
But my friend that's also in this play, her name's Esther.
Esther.
Yes.
I love her name, Esther.
She's from Ghana. I forget what it's called. Like, she's African. And she's, like, it's like everybody wants to be her friend because she's so nice and generous and sweet.
Homeland, they call
Yeah,
themselves.
like, she's been my friend since kindergarten. Like, we were there for each other. Yeah, she's in this play, and my other friend, Eli, he's also in this play, and I'm pretty sure he's, like, Puerto Rican and stuff. And a lot of other people, like Destiny, in this play. She's also Puerto Rican. So much new, like, things, like, people, like, nationalities, I don't know what to say.
Right, ethnic descents and
Yeah, I think we're all the same people.
Of course. It's the parents that ruin it. You leave the kids
Yeah.
alone. The kids may be inquisitive.
This is the thing.
But you just leave the kids alone and they're just fine. And I do see it, though. I do see, like, at Francis Drake when they just had their concert there.
Yes.
You know, you look and you're like, and even at graduation, like, this is a very diverse community. And for all the good reasons.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna get a chance on the 18th to find out more, and there's some surprises that are in
10
there.
to 12.
10 to 12, and I know they've spent a lot of time on this park. There's been a lot of people involved, and so I will see you there. How's that?
Great.
Huh?
We'll
You
love
want to say
that.
hello to your mother? That she brought you here. She was early in bringing you here.
Wave to
she
her in the
wanted to
camera.
be punctual.
Where's this one? Right there? Okay.
See? Did you know your grandmother Lorraine and my mother
Yes.
hung together? They hung around. Their
That's kind of-
families came from same part of Italy. Imagine that.
Yeah, she's very.
Yep.
She's very missed. Yeah.
Yeah, Lorraine was the best.
Very,
But they
yeah.
came from the same, right? They came for the same reasons. They came from Italy about the same time. Our it would have been my grandfather, her great-grandfather came from Italy at the same time to the American dream.
Yeah.
And sometimes they weren't treated so good either
Yeah.
at the very beginning when they first came here, and they wanted to assimilate and went to war and worked hard and did all those things. That's what that's the way this country was supposed to be, you see? That's the design of it all. Well, good job. You did a great job. I can see you should pursue a acting career.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because I'm gonna be in middle school next year, so I'm thinking I should try out for like the theater there because I think I really like to be an actor and like all that stuff, so I might try it.
You have performance in your blood. So you know, everyone has gifts. You have many, but I think just talking to her for 10 minutes, you're ready for you're ready for it. So at least dabble in it. Try it out.
Yeah.
See how you like it, right? All right. Thank you both for coming on.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
That was wonderful.
It's fun.
And again, it is hard to fathom, isn't it? To
Yeah.
think, you know,
This is the future.
even at the time I did my student intern at the Boston Police Department, even busing is still just hard to fathom that what went on, and I don't know, it's just it's almost like it didn't happen, but you know it did, and then you see pictures and it kind of brings it back, and thank goodness, you know, the right people stepped up at the right time to make the right changes.
Right.
We're better for
Or sat and refused to get up.
Yeah, and say, hey, listen, this, because, you know, we have somebody on our team, and she's about to deliver, you know, a baby. And, you know, we see it so often, we don't always think what a miracle it is. Imagine, like, just to conceive all of the things that must go right, and then to think that a person comes from another person. And you don't stop to think about it. When you do, you're like, wow, right? That's amazing.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of things we need to stop and think about, right? So nice job. I will see you there on the 18th.
Yes.
All right, I'll be in the back rooting for you. All right,
Right.
taking a short break here at Inside Leominster. The phone number is 534-1626, and we'll see you on the other side. Back here. Wonderful job. International Veterans Chorus. Memorial Day. That's always one of my favorite songs. Let's go to the phones and welcome our guest for this beautiful Thursday afternoon. And by the way, the concert at Carter Park is on for 7 o'clock. It is on. I think there's no bad weather out there, right? When I came here, it was nice. So it looks like Sonny said the show must go on. Caller, welcome to the show.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's going on, Crystal?
It was busy at Hannaford today.
You know why it was busy?
Why?
Because you were there.
Yeah.
I have to stop and get, this is about that time of year when the cherries, the California cherries are at peak. This is when they taste the best. The only problem is I can only afford like 1/4 of a pound, right? Right, Carl? It's like good prosciutto. You can only like $80 a pound. I'll take 2 slices. What's going on, Crystal?
I'm graduating from my law class soon.
You are? Will you get Will you get a diploma?
So certificate of completion like I did before.
Very nice. Very nice.
Are you coming to it?
Good for you. I'm going to try.
It's 99 Day Street, Fitchburg, Mass.
Yeah, I told Kelly, who does all the schedule stuff, because I'm not allowed to touch the schedule, that I would, we'd like to try to make it.
Okay, I'm on it. Okay. I don't think I will be there.
Yeah. All right.
I'll see you later, buddy. I'll see you at the stroll.
Over and out? Yes, we'll see you at the stroll. The stroll's this weekend. The 11th, it starts at 3 o'clock with a parade from the Walgreens parking lot. We march down to downtown and then block the streets off, and we have one heck of a good time. All right, hey, we've got some exciting guests here today. Now, finally, Carl, because this show is not an award-winning show, we were even going to create our own category so we could qualify. And we didn't even get that one, I don't think, Carl.
Well, it's been years since we won an award for this show. So
no, we never won an award for this show.
Are you sure?
This is the non-award-winning show. 29 years, we've never won an award. Nothing. Not even like runner-up,
Not even a plaque.
runner-up.
I saw some awards out there.
Yeah, those aren't mine. Those aren't the shows. They belong to everybody but this show.
Okay.
So we're the non-award-winning show here at LTV. Yeah, of all the awards they've had, right, Carl?
I'm going to do some research on that.
Now he feels bad. Yeah, but I don't want, if you get, now see what happens is if you do get an award, now you've got to like meet some standards and, you know, so by not winning one, you're in good shape. But we have some exciting guests today here from the North Central Mass Housing Authority. That's our buildings right here in the city of Leominster, and Benjamin Gold is with us. He's an Esquire and the Executive Director at North Central Mass Housing Authorities, and Adam Gaudy, Assistant Executive Director of the North Central Mass Housing Authority.
That's it. You got it.
Pretty good.
Hey, thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
This is pretty cool. I could tell when I met, you know, when we met in my office, and I left, and we had a little meeting with my staff, and I said, these guys are like really excited. And then I saw the article in the newspaper. Because I didn't know you had received those awards yet. You didn't say anything. And then I saw this big article in the newspaper, and I'm like, wow, that's quite an honor.
Well, thank you very much. Our staff at the Leominster Housing Authority works very hard, and we've had some good success over the last few years. And obviously, we want to thank you for having us on your show to share the news.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
So you didn't just get one award.
Right. So
see, Carl, not only did they get one award, they got multiple awards.
That's right. So we did win a few awards. One of them, Adam, to my right, Adam Gaudy, Assistant Director at the Leominster Housing Authority, was an award winner for a solution that he came up with DHCD. That's the Department of Housing Community Development. Yep. And they're our funding source, and Adam was able to, if you want to speak a little bit about it.
Yeah, what'd you come up with, Adam?
Yeah, so we had an issue with our elevator at Sunset Towers. The controller system was obsolete. We couldn't get parts for it anymore, and therefore it was hard for us.
Couldn't go to eBay anymore and buy parts.
No, and even our service contractor didn't want to continue service with us because they didn't want to have that liability.
Yeah, of course.
So I reached out to DHCD and for emergency funding. They have a separate reserve for emergencies. And of course, elevators aren't cheap. It's very expensive. So DHCD could not, at the time, award us any money. And at the same time, we were actually selling 2 single-family homes that were in bad shape. Just wasn't worth for us to rehab them.
So one of those places you had one, right?
Yeah.
Was it Pleasant Terrace? Pleasant something?
That was a couple years ago.
Right.
This was 633 Main Street and 1012 Main Street.
Yeah.
This time.
Oh, those two.
Yeah, those
went
two.
towards
correct.
fixing
So
the elevator.
like with the state programs, there's elderly and there's also family. And those homes are considered under the family program. So when you sell those homes, the state retains that revenue, and then they usually bring it back to you in some other form. But that revenue can only come back as for family, for family site.
So
Sunset Towers is
from that fund, goes back to that.
goes back into that fund. But Sunset Towers is an elderly site. So we couldn't sell those properties and then fund the elevator using those proceeds. So I reached out to DHCD and I just said, hey, why don't we try like a swap idea where if we could ask another housing authority in the state if they already were awarded emergency funds, do they have a family site that was awarded those funds? And then we would just swap. We would give our proceeds to the housing authority, and then that housing authority would then give us their emergency funds. So DHCD said it was unprecedented, and they were said it was a win-win. Great idea. So they allow us to do that. So we didn't fund the full project, but we were able to fund a good portion of it.
Yeah, because you got to watch all the money. You got a limited amount of money.
Limited.
Got to make it work.
Yeah. Right. Elevators are so expensive.
Yeah.
And when it comes to Leominster housing, our residents are first and foremost, and elevators can be dangerous if one goes down and there's one left, and we have a 10-floor building with the elderly.
Yeah. And remember, it is 10 stories, so it's a long walk if you had to bring people down the stairs.
Yeah, if the elevators go down and we can't repair them, you can't have elderly walking 10 flights of stairs.
No, no. None of us.
So we immediately took action on that. Yeah.
So it's fixed.
Well, it's in the process. Actually, you just had a pre-construction meeting last week, so it's in the works now.
Imagine, how old is that building? It's been around.
1971.
Was it 71?
Yeah, it was built.
And then you got LaPierre.
LaPierre, that's another one.
Spruce Street.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of responsibility.
We do. It's a lot of responsibility.
George Street apartments. Then you have single family. You got Allen Crest. Right. I mean, you've got a big portfolio of properties around there.
That is, and we actually won another award at this past Mass Narrow conference for the community center at Allen Crest because it helps with the students of the community. People can go there after school, get some help with homework or area of needs, and we want to invite the community to a naming.
Yes, you're going to be naming.
Right. So we're dedicating. So the great Gene Kaposha was 2 executive directors before myself, and he was very loved by the community. He was a pillar of the housing Mass Narrow community. So we are dedicating the Allen Crest Community Center in his honor and in his name next Friday, June 17th at 1:30. So
nice.
We'd love the newspaper, if the local newspaper's watching.
Make sure we're there, Carl. That should be there.
Oh, yeah. We'll get it on your calendar, and, we'd love to see everybody there. So we won an award for the community work that we've done with Allen Crest.
It's right out in front, so it's across from the pool, across from the South Francis Drake School.
That's right.
And it's a perfect location. In the wintertime, you don't have to keep the school all warm. You can run programs across the street. You can run them on the weekends, and it's a great resource. And then my buddy, Marcel Ledger.
So Marcel Ledger
I saw him all decked out. He had the tie on.
He looked great. You should have seen him at this conference. We go to an annual conference, Mass Narrow, and there's 262 housing authorities represented. If everybody sends a representative, but there are 262 housing authorities in the Commonwealth. So Marcel has been a dedicated board member for, I believe, 37 years. So Marcel was the recipient of a
lifetime
longevity award. So he got up there, he was in his suit, and he got his plaque. We took a nice photo, and we appreciate Marcel, and we appreciate everybody on the Leominster board, everybody's service over there. So we have a really great board. 978-534-1626. That's the phone number to call. And
how wonderful. Now, Allen Crest Community Center coming up. We want to make sure that people know about that. Gene had a lot of friends. You know, he's around for a long time. You know, a lot of city officials. We worked on community development block grant projects with him to get things painted.
Absolutely. Yep.
You know, as always, Gene always had a list of things and knew
knew
where I had money that we could use in CDBG or wherever, and home funds and all of that. He always had something going on.
Yeah.
Now, what's the future of senior housing? I mean, we really haven't built any new senior housing in the city, and that doesn't. And people are living longer.
That's right.
So what's being done statewide?
Yeah, I mean, so the idea is to have people age in place. We want people to stay in their apartments, get the necessary services that they need to be able to be comfortable in their home as they hit the twilight of their, their lives.
So you don't want them in the high rises. Not that you don't want them in the high rises, but it's less expensive to keep them at home where they're probably happier being home.
And that's one of the arguments that we make on the Mass Narrow Board is why we need to have these social services for the elderly. So unfortunately, there is not much money at the state level to build more senior housing. So, we get money to preserve our existing stock and our existing inventory.
But they give you money for the other part of it, which is remain in place, right? Age in place. So you're getting, it's one thing to say, well, we're not going to add any more money to build any new units. So we're going to add to your budget so you can take care of those that are trying to age in place and all of the needs that they have.
Yeah, we do. We have a service coordinator who helps all of our communities. We manage Leominster Housing. We also have the Lunenburg, Sterling, and West Boylston Housing Authority. So we have a service coordinator who helps with those issues.
Well, nice job.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming on. Congratulations to the Housing Authority and everyone, and to all the tenants. You've got some tenants that have been there a long
time. Long time. And thank you for everything you do for the city. I've been here 7 years now, and it's it's a great place to be, and we appreciate all the work that you do. And being on the show is really cool.
Anytime.
Thanks so much.
Anytime. Before you leave, so we get a ton of calls like, how do I get into the Housing Authority? My mother's, whatever. And so is it still veterans first? Priority goes to veterans?
Well, we look at veterans and emergencies too. So there's a new system that was put into place about 3 to 4 years ago called the CHAMP system. So we get a lot of emergency applicants from across the state. So we'll look at that, and they have to self-certify that they are an emergency by hitting a few prongs of the emergency test to see if they can get in. It used to be that you grew up in the town and you want to stay in Leominster. It was easier to get local residents in, but now we go through the emergency process. So it is a little different, but you can call us anytime you have any questions. We have a wonderful staff who would answer any questions about housing.
Yeah, we love working with the Housing Authority.
It's great. It's awesome. Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you. We're going to take a short break, and then we've got about 10 minutes left. We could take your phone calls at 978-534-1626. And if not, I got all of this over here to share with you, and we'll also be telling you about the Relay for Life tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, up at the Mount Wachusett, and we'll be talking about the stroll, and we're talking about the Montechusett Corral. So lots to talk about. We'll be right back. There you go. Back here at Inside Leominster, that's Sholin Farms Apple Blossom Festival 2022. You guys did a great job. And 100 years from now, people still have the opportunity, right, Kyle, to be able to watch, you know, yeah, forever. It will be watching spring and watching the Apple Blossom Festival at Sholin Farms. All right, let's see what's happening. We'll give you the updated COVID numbers. And we do this every week, but we do a morning briefing if you ever get a chance and you're on Facebook. But here we go. Yesterday, there were about 34,324 people that got tested. Now, that's who we know of, people doing home testings. We don't know. But 1,780 tested positive, 16 deaths, one is too many, 159 new cases in all of Worcester County. We're pretty much at the same at 179, down from 200. Hospitalizations is down about 18 to 567. Intensive care is about the same at 53, and intubated at 16, which is down 6. We want to see that number go to 0, intensive care to 0, and deaths to 0. Our positivity rate at one time was higher than the state. Now we're significantly less than the state at states at 8.44. We're at 6.58. It's Day of Ra'olja Day, International Dark and Stormy Day. We started off that way. It's also National Donald Duck Day. It's National Earl Day. I don't know who Earl is, but it's National Earl Day for all those people named Earl. It's also National Sex Day. I don't know about that, Kyle, but I didn't make that up. It's National Strawberry Rhubarb Pie Day. I never had strawberry rhubarb pie. But anyway, there's a day commemorating that. We have submitted in a grant department with Wendy Weeks a pre-application for the FEMA for the second phase of the North Nashware near the connector, that section near the treatment plant. The actual erosion is eating its way to the street. So we've got to get that fixed. So the application is in. We also got $865,000 towards the final purchase of the rail trail. And MassWorks grant submitted today to the state for $4.2 million for the Moose Knock Brook. And then all those other things underneath it are in the works. Okay, here's how it goes. Beginning tomorrow night is Relay for Life. This is to raise money for cancer research. And it's 6 o'clock. Mount Wachusett begins opening ceremonies. I am honored. I am this year going to be able to light the torch. Can you believe that? And then they have a survivor's walk, luminary. There's all kinds of things. And this is all to raise money. So this starts Friday night, but it goes into Saturday. I remember showing up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to do a couple laps up there. I might do that this year. If you guys are awake, come on down. We'll go for a little walk. Bring your mosquito repellent, though. And then on Saturday begins up at the Boys and Girls Club. They have a science fair. I think that's 10 to 2. And for us, right downtown, at 3 o'clock kicks off the parade at Walgreens on Saturday, the 11th. And we parade ourselves downtown. The streets are closed. We have free things, tons of free things, jumpy houses, things that, Mr. Alan Redstone, things that you would go other places and they would charge for it. You see what I'm saying? This is not like the lawn party at Lancaster Street School every year. You see, these are free things for the family. We make it free and affordable. So, you know what I'm saying?
Free, free, free.
Free. Well,
free.
You know what? For families right now, gas is $5, $5.03.
Crazy.
It's expensive. Rents have gone up. Families, right? So let's do something fun for families and make it affordable. So there are things that you can purchase, but they're optional. You can still have a good time.
You can have a good time without it.
And I'll be giving out watermelon. Okay?
That right there is worth it.
Nice big chunk of watermelon. Not the little thin slice like that stuff they slice down at the supermarket.
Would that be seedless or seeded?
Well, I'm going to try to find seeded watermelon tastes better, just so you know. The seedless doesn't taste quite as good.
But if you swallow the seeds, they'll grow in
I
your
don't
stomach.
care. That's okay. I like to spit them out later. I'm a professional seed spitter, you know. You didn't know that, did you?
That's easy for you
to
say.
No, I'm serious. I've won contests in the past. All right, tonight, June 9th, Ramble on Rose tribute band. That's coming up tonight at Carter Park. Leominster Colonial Band kicks off their series July 12th. Relay for Life, as I said, tomorrow night. And let's keep going. Don't forget to sign up for your Woo Sox tickets. and because Leominster Day is July 24th. There's Starburst and Pictures of the Week, technical review meeting that we have with all the departments. We've got some exciting new projects coming into the city. I'll update you next week. Downtown meeting that we had here in the alley, in the Starlight Alley. And then the water park is open, Fournier Park, busy as ever. I mean, it was a little cool that night, Carl, but you know, when you're a young kid, you don't feel it. Thank you to Brooks Pond and Bovenzi Incorporated for the donation of $25,000 to the planning department in the city for Fournier Park. So we thank him and them. Leominster High School graduation at City Hall. This is for Leominster Center for Excellence. And what a day. What a very emotional day for those students. And congratulations to the class of 2022. My speech, Carl Pamarini, took 1 minute. Thank you. And Isaiah Torres is greeted by his brother, Zachariah Torres, at graduation. He did not know that his brother would be there to hand him his diploma. Very emotional, very nice. I love surprises like that. And we read Dragons Like Tacos over at Head Start. So we have a lot of fun. There's me describing what happens if a full-sized, a full-sized, I don't mean small, dragon eats a taco. And there's our senior awards. Thank you to and congratulations to Lindsay Cavanaugh. Welcome, Johnny Appleseed School. They came and visited us the other day. And mother-daughter diplomas. I gave diplomas to Susan and Olivia McClucknon. Isn't that cool? There we are, touring revolutionary clinics up there in Fitchburg. They're building a new facility here in Leominster. And remember, I survived the great pollen storm of 2022. We're out of time here at Inside Leominster. Thank you for watching. Good night. God bless you. Remember, the world is run by those who show up. You got to show up.
Inside Leominster is brought to you in part through the generous support of N.P. Crowley Company Incorporated and by Landmark Self-Storage in Leominster, landmarkselfstorage.com, and by DeCarolis Insurance Agency Incorporated, DeCarolisInsuranceAgency.com, and by Enterprise Bank. Enterprise Bank creates success, enterprisebanking.com.
This is LTV.